So that's what this podcast is for.
Baby.
Stuff like that.
Useless facts with the Lawrence brothers, everybody.
I love it.
Thank you
I
very
really do.
much for coming to the Useless Factoids.
That's what we
with
should call
the
our
Lawrence
podcast.
Bros.
Useless facts.
Just rename it to Useless Facts Pod.
Actually,
Honestly,
we know
we
we
don't need
should
to
do.
rename it. I think people have actually named it that.
That's true.
That's the nickname.
That's just
Yeah.
the word. That's the,
It's the street name.
street name. Name
You
of
see the
street.
Brotherly Love Pod? No, the Useless Facts Pod. Oh, yeah.
that
I love
one.
that.
That
pod. Ridiculous. I should have a little, must be a little pull on my ab for doing something.
Your angry abs.
I wasn't doing angry abs. Well, actually, I was thinking about you guys, so I might have been.
really?
I might have been angry.
Wait, that's-
I might have been
that's
internally.
Why is
You know,
there so much
it's
pent
just-
up aggression there?
Are you kidding? You need to ask that
Or
question.
oppression? I don't know which
You've
one
been
it
my
is,
brothers
but-
for you've been my brother for almost 37 years. Oh my god. And Matt's been my brother for almost 45 years. Oh
Speaking
my
of
God.
brothers,
So
welcome
I got a lot
to
of pent up anger.
welcome to the Brotherly Love Pod, everybody.
Happy Friday,
Happy Friday.
everybody.
Here we are. Here we are.
We are back. We always say we're back. We never really go anywhere.
Back.
You know, we never really.
I think what we mean is we're back in this basement studio.
Yeah, I mean,
It's starting
we're
to all blend
always
together.
Yeah, we're always doing stuff. The show's going pretty good, though. That's kind of a cool thing.
People
Yeah.
are enjoying it
Well,
so
no,
much so that we're back.
the show we're working on, the other thing we're working on,
the
other
Oh,
show,
the show that
show.
must. It's like Lord Voldemort. You're not supposed to talk about it.
I mean, okay, but we can. 'cause
no, it's more
our
like Fight
show.
Club.
Yeah, once.
Oh, yeah, I like that
it's
better.
more like
That's
Fight
cooler.
Club. Yeah,
It's much cooler.
Your show is like Fight Club. We're gonna want you to
The
watch.
first
it, but we're
rule
not
of
gonna want
our
you to talk
show
about it.
is we don't.
Talk about our show.
Yeah.
That's right. We don't.
And
yeah.
the second rule is the same as the first rule,
Yeah.
and that is we don't talk about brotherly love on the Brotherly Love Pod.
That's right. That's
what?
right. That's right. That's right.
That's how it goes down.
Um,
Hey, interesting fact about siblings.
I'm
Joe's
confused.
really gonna like this.
No, it's not brotherly love. It's
Yeah, he
it's
confused
show.
me and the
because
entire
he was
world.
talking about the We're working on a new little project that's pretty exciting. So it'll be coming out soon. We'll keep.
I
you
mean, we
posted.
hope so.
It's definitely coming out. What do you mean we hope? So we've been working on it for
You
7
never
months.
know. Could be shelved.
It's not gonna be
In
show.
the Universal Studios
And
shelves.
if you guys are fans of like Curb Your Enthusiasm or episodes of these kind of cool, like sort of slightly meta shows, but this one's
See, I'm
with a
afraid to
little
talk
twist.
about things until they're actually
Yeah, I kind of am too.
But how
brought
about
into
this?
fruition.
What
You know
about-
why?
Joe's the opposite.
You know
Joe
why?
throws it out there before.
Do you know
he's
why?
like, I will pull this into reality.
But you know
with
what?
my
You know what's
will."
interesting about that? And
I
they kind
claim
of
it.
proved
I
this.
claim it.
Which I
They kind
agree.
of
I
proved
like it,
this
yeah.
scientifically,
Oh,
God, what
and
a-
that is
Matt,
that
why are you rolling your gum?
Why do you have some weird cozy
because
on
I'm
your-
kind of
He's-
like this.
He's rolling his
oh,
gum like
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey's booger.
but it's a
That was the
gigantic,
best SNL thing.
Jim
gigantic
Carrey.
booger.
Jim Carrey's impersonation when he's
Oh,
doing
yeah.
his Lincoln Navigator thing, and
Yeah.
he's like, "I love the ride."
Why did my
And
hair?
this- I guess the only question that remains to be answered is, what am I gonna do with this little boogie?
That's so.
It's the greatest.
I'm trying to be
Oh,
respectful
God,
of
that
the
was
listeners
so
and
funny.
not chew on my
What am
gum.
I gonna-
That's nice. You're only like 100 episodes in. Now you're finally listening.
Yeah.
No, I only started chewing gum like midway through.
I felt
I'm,
no.
I'm thinking
you
somewhere
were,
in the 40s, the late 40s, early 50s.
you were a Lozenger guy to begin with. You were
No.
you and Joe were like
No, I never had any
chomping on
lozengers.
lozengers.
Lozenges?
First of all, I never had any
Do you have
lozenges.
a lozenge? What a
Guys.
weird name. Do you
Reminds
have
me of meme.
I know. Do you have a
Doesn't it?
lozenge?
She always be like, "Does anybody have any lozenges?"
Yeah, I don't know. Our grandmother loved lozengers, butterscotch
It's
lozengers.
butterscotch
Yeah,
lozenges.
A lozenge.
That's
what a
funny.
weird.
Which
like, if
really
you
was
actually
just a
analyze
candy.
that name. Yes,
It was a little
it was a candy.
candy to wet your
Yeah,
whistle.
yeah, or a cough drop, but a lozenge. I don't know. We should look up the origins of lozenge.
Oh my
While
God.
you tell me your story,
Scientifically,
tell me your
Let me
scientific.
get back to this now.
Yeah, exploration. I'm going to look up lozenge.
If you talk about something that hasn't happened or hasn't come to fruition, but you
Mhm.
talk about it as if it has, it doesn't have the impact or the result that you would think it would have, which is that you're going to will this into existence. It actually tricks your brain into thinking that it has already happened, and actually makes the
Cerebral cortex.
no, it makes the odds of it actually happening decrease, not increase.
really,
Yes, Joe. Yes.
Who?
Really?
What is this experiment, Matt?
It's just a scientific experiment, and okay, I don't need to give you exactly. where.
Disclaimer.
Maybe it came out of my own brain. I don't know.
Disclaimer.
No, it didn't. I
We're
read
not
it.
sure this is
I read it in a
accurate
scientific
information.
a
journal.
lozenge is a solid dosage designed to dissolve slowly in the mouth.
That's what you were looking up?
Yeah.
I didn't need that info.
I just wanted to know.
Well, you want to know what a lozenge means?
Well, just the definition, sort of the origins of lozenge.
Hey, I got another scientific fact for you, Joe. And you're really going to like this one.
Kind of medicated.
You ready for
candy.
This is going to blow your mind.
It's medicated candy. That's what it is. It
Do you know that
separates
the-
itself from candy because it's medicated. What?
Do you know that the first sibling,
Saving lives here. You're talking
the
about
first
siblings.
sibling born into a family,
Boone?
born, the first
You gotta
sibling,
lay off the lozenges, man.
The first sibling Boone.
the first sibling born into a
Born.
family,
Yeah. This became British.
some of their DNA
Yes.
stays with the mother
Okay.
and gets passed on
Ew.
to other siblings born later. So theoretically, you and I, Andy, have some of Joe's DNA that got splashed into ours.
I'll tell you, it's the only reason why you guys have been able to work.
The only reason you guys have been able to continuously work.
I don't know what it is, man. It's a little bit of me and you guys. Literally.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that's
So
true.
creepy.
I know it is creepy.
Ha
Dang
boys! That's so weird.
Oh,
That's
no.
so weird. Ew.
I'm gonna
I
change.
know.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
change the mood. I heard Australia's wider than the moon.
What?
What?
Yeah. With
Andy, what?
Australia's whiter? Whiter? Like
Whiter.
the color of the sand is whiter
The girth.
than the dust on the
girth is wider than the moon.
moon? Oh. Really?
Wow.
yeah.
How many miles in width is the lunar moon?
Matt was trying to sound scientific.
3,000.
withered
I think
out.
it's 3,400 kilometers.
Okay, I don't think of kilometers, I think of miles. This is the U.S. of
2,100.
A.
2,000 like 113.
Hey, Siri,
There we go. Let's get the real facts from Siri.
how wide is the moon?
About as wide as your ass, Joe. Hey,
I thought it was 2,000, like 2,100.
Siri's
13
being
diameter.
really.
Hey, Siri,
Uh-huh.
how wide is the moon?
The moon has a diameter of approximately 2,160 miles. This is from
2,000.
encyclopedia.com.
Okay.
Wow, miles
No,
across.
I mean, if anybody was listening to this podcast, they would realize that I
Siri?
was pretty darn close.
how wide?
How
both my
wide is
brothers
Australia?
aren't acknowledging this.
Australia.
Australia is about 2,485 miles wide.
Andy's correct.
That's the
Wow.
second thing that I was.
Andy must have done his research.
When he's sitting, he's reading his phone.
I'm not
Oh.
reading it.
For everybody at home,
Oh,
Andy has his teleprompter.
There's a timer on
if the
my
teleprompter
phone.
were to
Oh,
freeze like
my-
any politician, he wouldn't even be able to read it. He'd be like,
I have a timer.
it's halfway through the sentence.
How amazing are those moments
we're
when
only 6
teleprompters
minutes
go
in,
out
and they already can't.
and
They
literally
can't
it's
even
like they
talk.
freeze.
They literally can't
How
talk.
does that happen?
I don't know. And that's why I'm going to solve. It's like, do you not even know what you're going to solve?
I know.
You don't even know
I
that.
Like you can't vamp at all
Right.
for 2 seconds.
So funny.
So funny to me
Oh,
too, Joe.
man.
I'm
It
with you
is.
on that.
You guys are really something else.
Yep.
Well,
Joe and I are really in sync today.
we are, and you have a little piece of me in you,
I
buddy.
know.
Just remember that. You're not too far off, pal.
Splashing Matt, a little
Yeah.
splashing
Splash.
Joe.
A little
Or,
splashies.
I don't-
A little splash in Matt and a little splooge in Andy.
Ew. Disgusting.
Matt's really been on one the last few days.
Yeah, I don't know what's in that gum.
I don't know
So
either.
weird.
Remember when you
Yeah.
said that really weird comment
Which one?
that wasn't that funny? Everybody was really thrown off.
Oh,
You
yeah.
silenced the room.
I
said a lot of
silenced the
those.
Yeah, he was
room
like,
and
then I just get an AK and shoot you guys.
Oh, yeah,
everyone
like-
was like, "What?" That's
Not.
and he was laughing, and like
know.
everybody, 20 people.
Yeah,
just
remember that
kinda
was like-
looked at him really awkwardly.
yeah.
You can't joke about that stuff anymore.
I know you
People
can't,
get really
can you?
get
This is in
upset.
bad taste.
It wasn't a good joke.
No, it was a
No.
bad-
I'm
it was
laughing at how
terrible joke.
awkward Matt was.
I
though.
know.
That
He was laughing
funny.
at himself, though.
I know.
Maniacally.
It's so weird. I was thinking about that for days.
Ah,
Literally
the Joker.
silenced the room.
Remember
You
Jack
did.
Nicholson's teeth?
Oh, yeah.
That was so cool in the beginning.
By the way, have you seen Jack Nicholson's son
no, does
in
he look like him?
Smile?
Wait, Jack Nicholson's son's in Smile?
And he does the Nicholson smile.
he
and he
doesn't.
looks so much like him. Yeah,
Really?
it's crazy. You got to check it out. I was blown away. I was
Wait,
like,
the new Smile comes out.
That's the one we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, dude, that Joker, Udu
Udu
Plateau, whatever,
Oh,
that thing
boy.
tanked. Udu
Petit
Folie,
Trois.
or what's it called? Udu Folie? Folie. Adu.
Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, I think they forgot they weren't making, Gone with the Wind. It was the Joker,
I
and they decided
know.
to make it like Terms of Endearment.
Well, because I think he won an Oscar, right?
I
For
wanna
the
see
first Joker.
Did he win an Oscar for the first Joker?
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So Joaquin Phoenix won Best Actor. So they were like, "Oh, we're going all in on this.
Right.
This is going to be
But
Best
they
Picture
made
of the
it a musical.
year."
They made it a
I
musical.
don't understand that.
I don't think that was
A thriller.
wise.
Not a musical.
I'm going
a
in-
thriller.
I'm going
I
into
think
it-
if you had made,
I'm going into it thinking it's a comedy.
I think, well, a lot of people said that, but I think if you had decided to do one musical number, maybe.
You still would have lost me.
I'm
Me
sure.
too.
I'm sure it's not as bad as everybody's saying.
Dude,
it
it
is.
tanked.
Like, I
though.
mean,
Like,
honestly,
when
when you're talking about musical numbers,
It did tank,
as
but
far
I
as you
don't
could
think-
go to me was that scene in the museum when Jack Nicholson
That's it.
and that Prince song was
yes,
playing.
but I'm
That was dope.
yes,
Like, that's a cool way to interject
just
kind of a musical
ya.
moment.
yeah.
That was sick. I don't know how they decided.
Well, they added Gaga, right?
Yeah.
and she arguably sings.
Ga
and-
ga ga ga. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun.
she sings and then oversins so much, you know. And I love Gaga.
Joe,
but she
silence
sings
your
every-
phone.
I had it on unsilent because Siri wouldn't listen to me. if it was on
Joe.
silent.
Really?
So, yeah,
No,
that true?
That's not
She won't do
true. That's an excuse.
No, she
Siri
won't do
doesn't
it.
listen to you if your
If you
phone's
look
Well,
up
you
the
can't hear
definition-
Siri. She won't talk to you because it's
Really?
on silent. Yeah.
If you look up the definition,
Okay,
of
look, it's on
excuse,
silent.
Yeah.
Put your phone on silent.
disclaimer,
Hey,
false
Siri.
information.
What's the size of the moon?
2016.
Still works, bro. Something still works. She just doesn't talk, but she tells you.
Oh, she does? Oh, my bad. Oops.
Yep.
Don't listen to Joe about anything technology.
You know, no,
Siri
you know,
still
you know
works.
what, you know what that
He
was.
knows a lot of things.
You know what that was? Have you
but
guys
not
been
a
getting
lot
all
about
those weird?
technology.
You guys been getting all those weird robotexts from all the Senate races and presidential races?
Yes.
Hey, you don't know me, but we're in deep shit. You know, I get all
I
these
know.
weird texts like, you know, I mean, what are they? You know, it's.
I know.
love it. You got to go through these things. It's like, you know.
I know.
Yes.
Hey,
Talk
you
about
don't
being
know
tone
me.
deaf as a
We're in
politician.
deep
Yeah, that's really what people want to receive right now.
I mean, I got
is
all
a
this-
text from
yeah.
you asking for more money.
I
from
mean,
us.
and they all do it.
I know.
It's both sides of the aisle.
I
I'm
know.
getting bombarded. They're like
How
hounding me.
do they even? Who
I don't
how do they
even know. We are in dire. Look at this one. We're in dire situation. We're in a dire situation here, Joe. Screw you, man.
Maybe this is actually.
If I got $100, I'm giving it to my kids. I'm not giving it to you. You're not doing anything anyway.
I know. It's pretty funny stuff.
It's all day long.
I know.
And I unsubscribe and unsubscribe. And then
I know.
I go, please press stop. And I press stop and they're like, we're sad to see you go. It's like, I didn't go. You found me. I didn't join.
I know.
You know?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I even go as
Really
far, just gonna
funny.
get so pissed. I even go as far, like, you know, you can pull it over and say junk or junk and report.
Report?
Yeah.
I report those
Of
bastards.
course.
I do
And I
too.
think it does nothing. I
Doesn't
don't think
do it.
anything cares. Apple
You
only,
gotta block it.
yeah, Apple only tracks you.
And then they'll find another number.
course they'll
and
find
you
another
block
number.
that. And you just keep blocking and blocking it.
block,
and
block,
blocking
block,
it.
block.
And eventually
You get
Yes.
nothing.
they get the message.
Yep, yep.
Well, eventually, nobody calls you because
I
you
know.
blocked everybody.
It's weird. I'm not getting any calls.
Which is exactly what I wanted.
How did I
Was
block
one
this
of your
guy?
friends, one of Andy's friends a long time ago, it still sticks in my head. He was talking about whether or not he wanted to get married or not, and he was like, I could be just a lonely old man. Actually sounds pretty good.
Is that what he said? He said, just worry about me. Do what I want. Anytime I want to do it. Don't have to ask anyone for permission or nothing.
Yeah.
All the money I make, I can spend on this guy.
This guy right here.
Sounds like a good deal. No, it's really an amazing season. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, we're in this obviously, you know, crazy time of year, right? Every
Oh,
4
yeah.
years we get into this cycle, but it's been interesting. My phone won't stop. Anyway, that's what that
I
text
know.
was. But we were
Okay.
talking about the Joker, and I really feel like they missed the boat because it's just like, to me, I think they had something really good, to your point, Matt, and they just should have done. And again, we talked about
A
this.
great thriller. That's all you need to do.
We talked about this, which is why Beetlejuice was so successful. They didn't try to outdo themselves.
Mhm.
They just made another small story. Even Sam astutely pointed out, like, they made a small story,
Yep.
okay, and they didn't try to reinvent the wheel. It was
Right.
very contained. It was a very, there wasn't like, well, let's see, last time it was a small town. Now we'll make it a small country. You
No,
know, it's
for
like,
real.
no. And
No.
I feel like with the Joker, bigger, more drama, more dramatic.
I don't think that's
more
accurate,
and I
though.
think
We haven't seen it.
Okay, so here's what we need to do, guys. We need to do a double feature.
God.
Joker Le Deux Le Bas
that's not the
and
title.
Megalopolis.
Megalop. Oh my gosh.
Megalopolis.
Another movie that I think Sam has seen.
You've seen Megalopolis?
Sam probably sees everything.
It sounds like a
Gotta
weird,
be two of the worst films of this decade.
No, none of us have
No,
seen any of
but-
this.
Megalop is unmissable. You cannot. I'm completely serious. You must see it.
Yeah.
You must.
I will go.
Yeah, we
see
will all
Megalopolis.
definitely
Whether
see
you
it.
like
Yeah.
it or not, I will say it is an unmissable experience.
On this
Wow.
I
one.
want to see it so
I
bad.
think that's what they said about what was that that movie that Warren Beatty did at the time. Warren Beatty and Dustin Hoffman. It was the big Ishtar. It was the biggest. It was the biggest bomb in the history of movies at the time because it cost like. And the numbers. This is a very old film now, but it cost like $50 million or something like this, $80 million, and it literally made no money. It was the biggest write-down ever. Ishtar. They spent more money on this film. It was Warren Beatty, Dustin Hoffman, and it was when I was a little kid. I think it came out like 86. I was like 9 or 10. But it was something like that. But it tanked, and I'll never forget. It was the biggest bomb in history, and not to be outdone, obviously, several times over since then. But yeah.
Now we have
Megalopolis with Adam Driver. What was? I don't know.
They spent a lot of money. That's what that is.
So much money.
A lot of money.
Bro.
They paid everybody a lot of money. They spent a lot of money. It was one of the
the Joker too. They spent $200 million.
Oh, how could you spend that kind of?
I don't know on that kind
of
film.
Small musical.
I don't know.
And expect to make your money.
I don't know.
Shame on you, Warner Brothers.
Yes,
it wasn't Warner Brothers, was it?
I think it was Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I think it probably was.
Really?
Yes.
I got it right.
You did. Well, there's been Batman and Bill.
Yeah, they've had the
Warner
property
Brothers
forever,
years.
bro.
Yeah.
Well, I got it. I was just.
I don't know what.
lucky shot in the
we'll
dark.
see which direction DC goes with all this stuff.
Well, now they've got their new guy in place.
James Gunn.
James Gunn.
They made an announcement.
From
Batman's
the,
not going to be a middle-aged man. He's either going to be young or he's either going to be old. We don't know yet. But
really,
but yeah, he's not going to be middle-aged. Batman.
They're in discussions to maybe have Robert Pattinson officially become the DC Batman, but I don't want that.
I don't want it either.
I mean, he was okay.
I
but
don't really like him.
like he's a good actor. But I didn't like him as
Right.
Batman. It was just I don't know. He was all right.
Kind of just weak.
I'm excited to see
was.
this new Russo brothers movie.
He was
Which
like
one's that?
They have a movie coming out with
it was like the Seattle version of Batman.
He was just
Pratt?
Like a little grungy.
He was. I know. He was just kind of like
Nirvana.
Yeah, he was like
Seattle.
he was Nirvana Batman.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he was.
Yeah, I know. And then I'm just kind of
His push-ups.
like,
Those were not good.
when I think of Batman, I don't want to think.
I know.
I don't want to think
Batman.
Seattle,
I'm Batman.
cloudy Seattle.
I know. Me either. Me either. I'm old school that way. I really wish. I think Batman's got to have a little grit and girth, you know. But he didn't have either of those things. So
What do
anyway,
I think? What?
kith and kin. Kith and kin. What do you mean? A little grit and a little girth. You know, like a little like thick. Like it's got to be a
I
little.
want a real girthy Batman.
I mean, that's a good word. I'm not. You guys are taking it in some weird, gross way, of course, because you guys are 12. You know, but it's a good
We
word.
should add a little girth to our brotherly love pod sign.
Trust me, you could use a little girth, pal. From what I've heard,
No, not-
and Andy especially.
Joe just likes knocking people down.
What do you
today.
mean? You've been making fun of me the whole time.
I don't.
I'm
think
just
so,
punching
bro.
back. I'm a counter puncher.
I don't
That's
think
what I do.
anybody's been making fun of you.
No, Andy, you've been making fun of me for years, Andy.
Yeah.
Years.
We've been making.
Years.
You and I have been making fun of. Well, we've been making fun of him for years.
Well, that's
kidding. We have.
that's understandable, though. I mean, my God,
I know.
we actually were kind.
I haven't eaten anything today. All
We
I've
were
had
kind.
is chamomile tea. And
When he would
started
join us
taking
with
a
our
bath.
friends as the Riddler, we were kind.
Yes.
We made him feel like he was normal.
It's true.
Sit there at the table. I'll never forget. I was there with all my 18-year-old friends, and he'd be like, "How is everybody doing today?" And it's like, "Oh God, oh my God." I mean, we'd sit at the table. You remember that? I'll never forget. And they'd be like, I'll never forget how many of my friends, my legal aged friends now, 18, 19, we would sit there and they would come to him and they'd be like, "Do you want a children's menu?" You'd be like, "No, I'll take a Caesar salad, please, and an iced tea." And you'd be like, "What?" And my friends would be like, "Did he just order a Caesar salad? Isn't he like 5? Like, yeah, he loves Caesar salad. He loves it.
Caesars and iced tea.
Nobody has good Caesar.
He would order it himself as either
this
Ace
iced tea freshly
Ventura.
brewed?
Yes,
not Lipton, is it?
either as
didn't like
Ice,
Lipton.
either as Ace
Or, like,
Ventura
they-
or the Riddler
I know.
or
Remember
riddle
when
me this.
They were serving like brisk or something like that.
Oh,
and-
it was the
yeah,
worst.
I couldn't stand that stuff.
Oh, and it's
yeah,
like liquid.
Yeah,
Oh, it actually.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason I have a
Sweeteners.
stomach ulcer.
Oh,
is
my
from all the
gosh.
brisk tea.
brisk. Oh, that was bad.
We
stuff.
had so much brisk.
so much brisk. It wasn't even tea.
No, it
No.
was like
It
acid.
had 2% tea.
Yeah, I know.
I've
I
grown.
know.
I mean, they literally fed
Right.
us acid back in the 90s.
I know.
That's
we were
wrong with
the,
me.
the test tubes, the
Like,
guinea
yeah,
pigs.
warheads
all that
and
For
stuff.
today's lovely.
I know.
gushers and brisk tea.
How many Skittles did you eat in
Oh,
particular?
my-
They're now
Oh.
outlawed
I
in
know.
several states. But I mean,
Well, look what they've done to the guy.
I know.
They should be outlawed.
What are you talking about, guys?
Oh my God!
Why are my teeth falling out?
Don't walk by a microwave. I'll forget who I am for 10 minutes and piss my pants.
Yeah.
No, but it is. It's amazing. I
know.
mean, you and I used to have Taco Bell eating contests.
Oh my! I could down like 20 tacos.
Those-
I mean, I didn't feel right for days
I know.
after that.
I know.
But
Bell.
The original tacos,
they were so thin.
which had almost no meat
Yeah,
in them.
you just-
Well, I don't even know how much meat
One
actually
gulp,
was in
they
there.
were gone.
Yeah, it had a little bit of cheese,
Yep.
2 little pieces of
Soft
iceberg
or
lettuce,
hard?
Yeah.
hard shell,
Yeah.
And we used to get the mild taco sauce.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
By the way,
that
it was
stuff was so good.
which it was
Dude,
so
deadly.
good. It was total
Deadly.
corn syrup.
I mean,
it's
it really
just
is
deadly.
It was
good
corn
stuff.
syrup and
Yeah.
chemicals. That's
Yeah.
all it was.
I wish I could eat
100%.
this. I
We'd
probably-
pull in, dude. We'd on our way back from New York trips.
Oh, yeah.
Mom and Dad's surprise was we'd go into the rest stations
Right.
and there was Taco Bell and we go and
Yeah.
Matt and I would have contests. We'd order literally 15 of
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Because there was no meat.
No.
It was almost like a chip. It's
Yeah.
like nachos.
Yeah,
That's how
it
little
was.
they
That
were.
was so thin.
They were like this long, but they were this thin with nothing in them. And Matt and I would eat tons of them. And remember,
Yeah.
like the chicken McNuggets weren't enough 8-pack. We'd get 4 8-packs. It's
true.
Or like, and then they came out with a 20-pack. So we get a couple of those.
Oh,
Matt
yeah.
and I
You
would
know,
crush
I
them with the
was
sweet and
never-
sour sauce.
I was
Honey?
never.
Oh my God, the honey.
I was never a fan
And
of
the
those.
orange drink. Remember the
Oh
orange
my gosh.
drink?
Yes. Oh my
My
goodness.
God.
I was never a fan of the chicken nuggets with the honey sauce.
No?
No, because the breading like just like felt like it like
So good.
slopped off.
Well, that, you got some bad nuggets there, Ed.
Yeah, the breading actually, they use a certain chemical. It's a.
It binds it to the
you
foamy
can't actually,
meat.
you can't even cut it off. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's.
That wasn't
Anyway.
You
it
must have had a
is-
defective.
yeah,
chicken
defective
nugget
chicken
there,
nugget.
man.
Maybe a little too much real ingredients in that one.
Yeah.
Where the crust actually came off.
Well, this isn't going to work.
Yeah,
I do
know.
remember that they changed they got into a big lot of legal trouble because it wasn't Kentucky Fried Chicken.
They couldn't say chicken.
Yeah,
No, because it wasn't actual chicken
Yeah.
It
anymore.
wasn't chicken.
I mean,
it was,
that's-
it was a pink sludge. If you ever look at the picture,
Yeah.
it's the most repulsive thing
Subway got in the same trouble.
ever.
The tuna.
Their tuna.
It's
Yeah.
literally
No tuna.
a pink
No tuna.
sludge. It's so gross.
That one really got me.
It looks like it's coming out of a
It's so
toothpaste.
I
good.
used to go to the
good.
park with my dog, run my dog, and then we'd stop at Subway.
Be like,
I'd have a tuna
Matt has
sandwich,
had so many tuna sandwiches and Skittles.
and
I know.
Bear would have the inners of a roast beef sandwich.
Wow,
And now that I know that I was not eating
tuna.
tuna,
You didn't even know what you were eating.
who knows what I was eating?
Yeah.
Baby dolphin or something.
See,
It's really
you
sick.
were eating
Yeah.
like you were
They
eating
were
like
throwing everything in there.
you were eating like sea guts, just
Yeah.
pure sea
Basically.
guts. Yeah, it's
Sad.
amazing.
Really
no tuna.
sad stuff.
It's almost a joke when somebody says, "Hey, you know what's not in this tuna sandwich? I don't know. Lettuce? No. Celery? No. Onion? No. Grapes? No. Mayo? No. Tuna. What? No
Can't
tuna.
tell, can you?
I mean, it's scary.
Gotcha.
It's really scary.
I know.
It's really
It
scary.
is. It's
And did
really-
you? And then their bread had
Oh,
no bread
yeah.
in it.
It was
no-
like, well, it's just
Had no. What was the one ingredient you need for bread? I forget what it was, but that ingredient was not in the bread.
yeah, it was they
Something weird.
It was weird in that bread too. I
And
mean,
did
the
you
bread
notice-
was really good.
Oh
but
my gosh!
man.
But you walk in there, you smell
Well,
whatever
that's
the
like,
cooking is.
isn't I think CPK was so delicious, but they but they were using MSG in there and like some addictive properties in their dough.
that's
that made
Everybody was
people-
using MSG. They're still using MSG. MSG is still in Doritos and
deodorant too.
deodorant.
What? Don't eat
cheesy
deodorant, Joe. Stop
only
eating your
only
deodorant.
the cheese flavored deodorant.
Oh my
It's in-
God.
It's in the nacho cheese deodorant.
By the way, natural deodorant, which I use, does not work. Just disclaimer. I can't find a good one that works.
Doesn't work.
And then some of it stays on for weeks. It's like a honey.
It also makes you
wax
itch.
hive stuff.
makes you itch and it you get sticky. It's a disaster.
And then the friction, you develop skin tabs,
rashes
It's
and
a
skin
whole-
tabs.
it's a whole mess.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I know.
From using these natural deodorants.
I know.
I had the same problem. Anyway,
I just go outside and pick up a handful of land and rub it.
no,
on my
you know
old
what you do,
arms.
guys. You know what you do, guys. Parsley. Just smear parsley.
No,
in
but
your
honestly, I
pits.
feel like rolling in a rosemary bush would just be.
rolling in a rosemary.
Did you know
bush.
that Scotland's national animal is a unicorn? Isn't that interesting?
Wow. Come on. Who told you that?
Look this up.
That means
Scotland's-
that means they must actually
Scotland's national, like their representative animal
Is a unicorn.
is not an animal. What are they?
It's
The
a unicorn.
subway of countries?
What's New Zealand's? The kiwi. Come on, guys. It's a flightless bird with a long beak. You've never seen a kiwi? Come on.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought
what's
you were
the
talking about the
US's
fruit.
A's
I thought you
mascot?
were talking about the fruit.
Come on.
It's bald eagle.
Yeah,
I thought
buddy.
you were talking
What's
about the fruit.
California's mascot?
The condor.
No.
Oh,
The bear. Which is
Oh.
funny because we killed them all.
but the state bird.
It's true.
But the state
It's
bird
so
is the
true.
condor, right? The
What?
state bird was the condor.
Well, no, that's one of our survival.
Are there any of them left?
There's are
there any California
Yeah, there's
condors
about
left?
24 to 50.
There's more. They've been repopulating.
Yeah, they've been doing a pretty good job
They're
with the
huge,
condor.
right?
Dude, they went
Oh,
on shut down a
massive.
freeway. Its wingspan almost went
12
across the whole.
feet.
So they're like
wingspan.
pterodactyls, kind of.
Kind of. They need. That's why they live on cliffs because they can't. They're stuck on the ground. It's really hard for them to get off the ground and fly. They need to actually jump off, catch a good updraft, and take it and soar. That's how they basically get around. They just soar and they coast up and down the coastlines and all the, the.
That's why they called it soaring over California,
Yes,
by the way.
exactly.
Soaring because it was based off of, they wanted you to feel like a
Like
condor.
Condor.
So when it was soaring over California, before it was, is it back to that now? Because I know they tried to make it more like cross country, but I think it's
I
back
don't
to
know.
soaring over California.
I don't know
I'm
what it
mistaken.
is.
In California Adventure.
Oh, right. I just don't know what it is. And I haven't been there in a decade.
Matt, we just went.
It's great.
I never went to California Land, and I wasn't with you guys.
Wait,
remember?
really?
I don't think he was with us.
Why
No,
didn't
I had to work.
I go all the time, bro.
He had to work, dude. I don't know what that means.
And then you cut to me, and I'm
Yeah.
waving the sign, apartments this way. not knocking the job.
No,
it's just a funny image to me.
right. Matt?
Spinning the sign.
You guys bring me a churros?
Ooh, interesting.
They're good.
Did you know?
Oh God.
Did you know?
Yeah, what?
Interesting facts
The
here.
Mexico City's oldest churro
Brotherly Love
shop. I
Pod.
think literally they opened their first shop in
City.
Mexico City, like the authentic
Right.
Mexican churro was open. I think in like 1930s, maybe early 40s. They're finally getting one here in LA, and they're putting it on Sunset Boulevard. Yeah, it's like the original churros
Really?
That's pretty
shop,
cool.
and it's going to be on Sunset.
Hey, that's cool.
I know, isn't that cool?
I actually will go there and check.
Yeah,
I
me
love
too.
churros.
Oh
Oh my
my
God.
gosh,
I
I love
have
I
some.
wonder if they do gluten free.
Oh god, probably not.
Matt, is it true that sloths can hold their breaths longer than dolphins?
Sloths
Yeah,
hold their breath longer than
I
dolphins.
think it's a true fact.
I don't know about that. I know surprisingly sloths can swim
I think they can hold their breath
because they
long-
have
yeah.
to. And you'd think
Why
a
do they have
sloth-
to?
Well, because they're from the rainforest, and they're also there's the pygmy sloth is only found on an island archipelago off the coast of South America.
Acapella though.
Yeah,
What do
so
they sing on
tiny
that
little,
island?
No, tiny little islands that are separated by water, and the only way to find mates is to swim to these other little islands to find mates. So
Wow.
the sloths can swim. I don't know about holding their breath. I don't know. That's a good little factoid. I don't know.
Sloths can swim.
I
Do
don't know
they
about holding their
swim
breath longer than a dolphin?
How do they? You would.
It seems crazy to me because dolphins need to hold their breath quite a long time
I know.
to fish. So that doesn't seem right to me.
Can I ask something though?
I would say that's a false.
Do sloths?
Apparently
It's
so.
true?
They can. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I saw an animal documentary
But wait,
Really?
recently where that said that, and I was shocked.
That is shocking. I
but
would
wait,
never even
Here's what's
guessed
shocking
that.
to me though is like
Because
you
think about-
think
I
with how
know.
slow they move, they wouldn't
Well-
swim.
well-
They would just
Sink.
Do you know that they move so slow that moss grows
Grows.
on their back? And not only does moss grow on their back, but moths lay their larvae on the moss that's growing on their back to hatch out because they move so
Get
slowly.
out of here.
Swear I'm alive.
Ew.
There's a whole ecosystem that grows on their
Ew.
fur because they move so slowly. Yeah.
Why do they
They're
move?
so cute.
Why do they move that slowly?
So
though?
cute.
Like, what is the purpose of that?
It's the way they metabolize their food. That's their adaptation to the way they metabolize their food.
Why do they metabolize their? What do you mean? Like it takes them weeks?
Because the stuff that they eat
what do they
breaks
eat?
down and doesn't give off a lot of. Well, they eat vegetation, but the kind of vegetation they survive off of breaks down very slowly and doesn't put off a lot of energy. So that's just the way they move. Similarly, koalas. Now they move a little faster,
But wait,
but koalas
don't go near. Is it koalas or pandas that you get syphilis from if you go near?
Oh my god!
What?
Andy?
No, like highly,
Wait,
highly.
but dude, what do you?
contagious.
Wait, Matt, listen, dude. I know you got some weird
Highly-
friends, but
Check this out.
don't go near them in
Syphilis,
what
Andy?
capacity? You never get naked next to a panda bear because why
Can
would
you Google it?
I mean, like, how would you get it? What if you're fully
Just
clothed?
Google it. It doesn't matter. Google it.
Hey,
It doesn't
I would
make
get
any
near you,
sense.
bear, but I don't want to get any STDs.
It's
so
It's
weird.
from pandas, I think. It might be koalas.
I don't
Why
know
am I
about
doing
that.
this?
Do the-
Syphilis.
Try the koala.
I know it's koalas. No, you're right. It's koalas. It's not pandas. Koalas
Hey,
get
Siri?
syphilis. I don't think they can pass
They
it.
can
that
absolutely. It's very
Can
easily.
you get syphilis? It's gonna be a weird search history if somebody ever looks at this phone.
Yeah. Can you get syphilis from
mean-
koalas?
No, it's possible. Yes, it's possible to get syphilis. Thank you, Siri.
Thanks. Yes, it is possible.
Hey Siri,
I know they get it.
can you get syphilis
You are right
from
about that.
a koala bear? It's the weirdest. Why the heck do so many koalas have chlamydia?
Chlamydia. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yes, it's not syphilis. It's chlamydia.
It's chlamydia.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Be careful. What does
Yeah.
it say? Why do they have it?
Yeah, they do get it. In fact, when I was in Australia, a couple of them had to be quarantined off because they had it, and they didn't want to pass
One
it
of the
through.
leading killers
Yeah.
of Australia's koalas is the debilitating bacterial infection chlamydia.
Yeah.
The idea of koalas with chlamydia, which is a common sexually transmitted infection among people, recently drew chuckles. But the disease, which is affecting koalas in epidemic proportions, is hardly
Wow.
a laughing matter. Chlamydia-infected koalas It's crazy. Mentioned. Let me see. Wildlife Zoo called the John M. Chlamydia experiment. Chlamydia is no joke in koalas.
This is like a disaster.
Some wild populations demonstrate a 100% rate of infection.
Yeah, they get it.
What?
It's impossible
Frequently
for their
leads
little
to
bodies.
blindness, severe bladder inflammation, infertility, and then ultimately death.
Yes,
This is
yeah,
terrible.
I know.
And treatment with antibiotics could create further problems
Yeah.
for marsupials. The antibiotics, they don't do well. And it messes up their gut microbes, and they can't absorb any of their food.
That's what it-
Eucalyptus, they can't eat it.
It's
after
such a
that.
specific biome in their gut that once you throw that off, they're not
Wow.
going to be able to rebound.
Why they're so vulnerable to this infection, scientists do not know. It is a human-spread infection. They do not know why the koalas are so susceptible to it. But scientists now suspect that a virus in the same family as the human immune deficiency virus, which is HIV, could be the culprit. Could be a HIV companion.
Wow.
Researchers learned that koalas infected with this virus, called the retrovirus, were more likely to be infected with chlamydia. So they basically have an AIDS epidemic or HIV epidemic that's going on in the koala community, and it's making them more susceptible to chlamydia.
So this
Yes.
is like what?
That is weird.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Though koalas catch chlamydia just as people do, by having sex. And they have sex a lot.
Koalas?
Koalas
Very
do.
sexually active.
Yeah.
Young koalas can become infected by just eating pap, which is a nutritious type
Yeah.
of feces, when it is excreted by infected mothers, according
Yeah.
to a study.
Yeah.
The pap, which they live on and is vital to their
Yeah.
system.
That's how they pass. That's how the mother. That's like the colostrum.
The colostrum.
Colostrum.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not the cholesterol. That was a combination of cholesterol and colostrum. But yes, colostrum. That's what it's like. They do it in their poop, which, by the way, a lot of reptiles do.
They have to eat it because the eucalyptus leaves, which they survive on,
course.
has a certain nutrition in the wild, but it contains a compound called tannin,
Yeah.
and it can be highly toxic
yeah.
to even the koalas if it is not broken down by these certain types of gut bacteria they need,
Yep.
and they get these from that pap.
Yeah.
If they don't eat the pap, they die.
Yeah, a lot of so you'll see this a lot in vegetarian
Wow.
creatures that only eat very specific type of vegetation. You'll see it a lot where the babies will consume the adult's feces to gain the bacterias and the things that'll break down the vegetation. It's very interesting.
The population of koalas have declined 80%.
Well,
In
Yeah,
the
that's 'cause
last-
of fires.
In the last 10 years. Yeah.
fires really were terrible.
This is a interesting. This is a.
Second only to injury from cars. Chlamydia is the cause of is the number one cause.
What
of
have I
death.
done? This is
Wow.
terrible.
But you were right, Ann.
I know.
Yeah.
You were dead on.
I think Venus is the only planet that spins clockwise. But mostly, let's talk about how
Andy's just-
humans.
Andy's been looking up
humans.
facts.
I have humans.
I mean,
did you know humans?
Did you hear how he just dropped that? It
Yeah.
doesn't even make any sense. He's like, "That's right, guys. We really went down a rabbit hole. Do you know that Jupiter is only four?
Venus.
Yeah, Venus is blah blah blah." blah, blah, blah.
Did you know that humans before toilet paper? What do we use?
Stones.
No,
Yes.
later than that.
Sticks?
Corn husks. Isn't that
Corn
odd? Doesn't that sound terrible?
Well, the Romans used to sponge. This is really
Oh my
wild.
God! Yeah, they used to use
A sponge
communal
that
sponge.
tied to the end of a stick that was communal.
A communal sponge, dude.
Yo! Gosh! Can you
Wait a minute.
imagine?
Come on.
I
Come
swear.
on.
Yeah, it's true.
Could you pass me the sponge? Almost done with it.
It
And
was
they'd rinse
sitting
it
in
in
a
a bucket of
in like
vinegar.
a
Bucket of
stone
vinegar.
bucket of,
Vinegar,
and you just go and
vinegar and salt.
stick it back in the bucket,
Yeah,
and then
I just love the old.
continue
medieval,
on your way.
What about the old medieval toilets that they weren't flush? They were like holes
Yeah.
in these towers. of
Yeah.
shit.
Shit on the-
fall.
Come on.
There
Come
were no,
on.
there were no
go
sewer
sit-
systems.
They sit down. They're like,
That's how
"Ah."
nasty the streets were.
Let's take a
There were
nice
no
number.
Well, I know that
sewer
a
systems.
lot of women carried those little bouquets of flowers, those little like the lavender and
because the
incense.
streets smelled like crap because the
literally,
streets
right.
were full with
I
crap.
just see him like some
Wow.
medieval person just sitting down in this nice bathroom, thinking that it's all civilized.
They would also throw their shit out the window.
And then
They
they
would
cut
throw
in
it.
outside.
buckets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you see your butt
buckets.
cheeks. Oh God!
then
It's so funny. You think that we have gone past that, but then San Francisco brought it back.
Oh God! You look at those main streets where all the great shopping was.
Yeah.
Nordstrom's gone. All the great stores are gone.
Well, yeah, nobody
Sad.
really walks. Nobody walks.
Everybody
around.
left. Well, Nordstrom.
this is a massacre.
No,
it's an
no,
exodus.
no.
Everyone's
But
leaving.
all the
Nordstrom's
highbrow-
is gone.
A lot of the highbrow,
nice.
a lot of the high end stores. Are
Macy's, Bloomies, they're all leaving.
J.C. Penney out.
When Nordstrom's goes, Joey goes.
No, a lot of their. It's really sad. I saw a couple pictures of downtown. It's
yeah, no, it's not
sad.
doing too well.
No.
Also, Silicon Valley, it took a hit. It's not really Silicon Valley anymore, and that used to be a major engine for driving there. And two, these poor homeless people.
I know. It's terrible.
Why in this country, this incredibly rich country, do we have Homeless.
I don't know.
Come on.
I don't know. People
ridiculous.
say, I know. People, yeah.
I don't understand it.
Nothing makes sense. I think everybody's really confused about a lot of things because nothing makes sense. Really nothing.
I mean, pigs can't look up at the sky, and humans are the only animals that blush. But check this out.
Here we go.
Hold your nose, pinch your nose, and you can't hum. Try it. Try it.
And he just became Jeff.
It's true. You can't.
Can't do
He
it.
literally
right.
just sounded like Jeff Goldblum, didn't he?
But
Here's
there it
another
is.
thing. There's another thing. Here it is. Here it is. Check this out. You definitely can't hold your nose and hum.
You can't do
You
it.
can't
It's
do
really
it.
weird.
Can't do it.
Try it.
So if I hold my nose and I hum.
No, you're not holding your
You
nose.
gotta
Joe. I
actually
can
pinch
see you not holding your nose. I can see you gently
You
place
do it for 2
your
seconds, but then it runs out. See,
Wow.
you can't do it.
Well, you need a little maybe air.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do it. Yeah, try it out there, everybody. You can't do it.
No, you really can't actually. You actually.
So that's what this podcast is for.
Baby.
Stuff like that.
Useless facts.
Useless
with the Lawrence
facts.
brothers, everybody.
I love it.
Thank you
I
very
really do.
much for coming to the Useless Factoids.
That's what we
with
should call
the
our
Lawrence
podcast.
Bros.
Useless facts.
Just rename it to Useless Facts Pod.
Actually,
Honestly,
we know
we
we
don't
should
need to
do.
rename it. I think people have actually named it that.
That's
They-
true.
that's the nickname.
That's just
Yeah.
the word. That's the,
It's the street name.
street name. Name
You
of
see the
street.
Brotherly Love Pod? No, the Useless Facts Pod. Oh yeah,
that
I love
one.
that
pod.
one.
I think I'm gonna do my own
Love
Useless Facts Pod. Andy and the Bros. That's what it'll be.
Andy and the Bros.
That's what we should call it.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Just because I know the most useless
I got to look up
facts,
some
it's only
useless
fitting.
facts. Is that what you've been doing? You just looked up useless facts, didn't you?
No.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Let me see something.
He's got it on his phone
Before we
right now.
leave,
I can see it.
hold on a minute here.
Joe, you gonna come up with one of the great useless facts of our time?
I got to compete with Andy with useless facts.
I didn't. That's not what I mean.
Useless facts searched 27 times by Andrew Lawrence. Okay.
Searched. That's great. 27 times.
Oh
boy.
Okay, here we go.
Go for it, Joe. Take it away.
Well, did you know that ketchup was once medicine?
Yes, it did.
In the 1830s, Dr. John Cook Bennett sold tomato ketchup as a medicine to cure diarrhea,
was.
indigestion, jaundice, and rheumatism. Tigers have striped skin. The stripes on a tiger's skin are unique to each tiger, similar to human fingerprints. It's not in their fur, it's their skin.
In their fur, but yeah.
No, their skin. It's not in their fur. That's the whole point of this.
What is their
useless
skin?
fact.
Is their fur clear?
It's
is it opaque
It just
fur?
shows through it. Shows through it.
It's translucent fur.
Those stripes are not actually in there. Elephants can't jump because the bones in their legs point down, which prevents them from pushing off the ground. Elephants don't jump.
That doesn't shock me.
Cats can't taste sweet things. A mutation in a cat's
these are
taste
terrible
receptors
facts.
prevents them from
These
tasting
are not
sweet
even.
things.
These are like terrible facts.
Giraffes' horns are called ossicones. A giraffe's horns are actually called ossicones, which are made of cartilage.
Joe's trying
and
to
covered in skin.
hijack my useless facts, and
Yep.
honestly, mine.
Well, I'll just do it the way you
mine
did
are
it before
better.
we leave. Did you know that? And you look down like his
Some
phone's
weird
right here. He doesn't-
mumbling.
What do you mean? That's you.
No.
Did you know that the Mona Lisa has no eyebrows, Joe? Did you know that? Has no
Is that true?
eyebrows.
That's
Mona
actually the
Lisa.
best fact.
Did you know that? Did you know that? Look at you. Oh my God! He literally just did it. His depth thing. Is that true? Joe, that's true. That's literally the best fact you've said all day. Did you know that?
To the ship.
I know. And that's his catchphrase. Andy, your car? Nah, it's a ship, Joe. It's not a car. Have you seen a sail on a car? Look at that rudder. Cars don't have rudders, Joe.
Look at this oak simmered in sap.
Harvey Eddie.
Let's enter Ventura Boulevard. To the ship. That's funny, Matt. It's very funny. All right. Everybody, thanks so much for joining us this week. Have a blessed weekend. And we will see you here next week on the Brotherly Love Pod, a.k.a. the Useless Facts Podcast.
Next week on the ship.
Oh, God. No, it's the pod. It's not a ship. It's a pod.
I would
That's not
prefer it to
ship
be
too.
a ship.
I know you would, Andy, but it can't be the
So hopefully Andy's
So
the one who's going
weird.
to set up the pod on the cruise line.
Yeah, he
and
will.
It'll be an old school
my
wooden
gosh.
pirate vessel.
Oh, my gosh.
That actually
Andy
be
would be
great.
the
That's
captain.
my shanty. These weird words.
I don't think shanty is a naval.
I don't know what it is.
Shanty
nautical
is a
term.
town.
It's a
Yeah, I
town.
don't
Yeah.
think it's a nautical.
Gotta head to
term.
the shanty. It is.
If you stop your boat and get off
Oh,
at the
from
shanty.
Harvard.
Yeah. Harvard Stein. Well, get to the shaft. What? What
Joe
is
does
the
a
other?
good
Jibs.
Starboard.
Jibs. Starboard side, jib. Jib is another one. Cast the jib.
Jib the mast, me matey.
I'm gonna brush up on our pirate lingo.
Yeah,
for
we will.
next-
Pirate vernacular
the
will
next
come back
pod.
next week.
Jive ho!
God bless
Thank you so much, everybody, for watching and listening to the Brotherly Love Pod. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. We love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
How does your ho? I but we're loved by our moms and dads. Pick up me. How does your ho? Yo ho yo. A pirate's life for me. Hey, what's up, everybody? The Lawrence brothers are here. Thank you so much for enjoying this week's episode of the Brotherly Love Pod.
And if you want more of this show, check out our premium feed on Supercast.
That's right, where you'll see ad-free episodes, monthly AMAs, behind-the-scene content, and so much more.
That's brotherlylove.supercast.com to join.
Check out our link tree and subscribe on all platforms.
We'll see you all next week.